sorry if you hear like dog barking or noises. I'm outside in my backyard, so please just disregard. In other news, the topic for this week is Leave It to God. Now, I know that there are probably a lot of videos about this already, and when I say leave it to God, I guess I also mean trust God, whatever your struggle is, to do His will in your life. Now, I'm going to talk about 3 people who decided to leave their desires, their petitions, their aspirations in God's hands. It's Moses, Joseph, and Hannah. Now let's go with the first one, Moses. Moses was sent to take the Israelites out of Egypt and into the Promised Land. On their way to the Promised Land, the Israelites misbehaved, and for 40 years they were in the desert. But Moses was hoping to reach that Promised Land, to see that Promised Land. In all his time, he prayed for the Israelites and asked God to forgive them for grumbling, for complaining against him. And he did. However, God told Moses that he would not see the Promised Land. Imagine that. Moses desired so much to see the Promised Land, yet he did not see it. Why he did not see it, people say that God said it was a consequence because he got mad. And I mean, there's many things. Point is, he didn't end up seeing it. But he chose to let God do his will in his life. He didn't grumble to God or get mad or said, why God? Why don't you let me see the Promised Land after 40 years of dealing? No. He chose God's will to be done in his life. He said, okay. Joseph, the second one. Joseph was sold into slavery, and his life was going pretty good after slavery because he found favor in Potiphar's eyes, really wealthy Egyptian man. Yet his wife decided to falsely accuse Joseph of wanting to do something to her. So Joseph was sent to jail for many years. People say it was maybe about 15 to 17 years. I mean, imagine that. Joseph could have given up and said, really, God? I got sold into slavery and now I'm in jail for something I didn't even do? Yet he chose to leave it to God and said, okay, God, well, take me where you want to take me. And though it doesn't say that in the Bible, it does say in Genesis 39:20-21 that while Joseph was in prison, the Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. Third example, Hannah. Hannah gave her petition to God of wanting to have a child so bad. And we see in 1 Samuel 1:17 that God answered and granted her petition. Many times, just like these 3 characters from the Bible, we have petitions that we give to God. Maybe aspirations, desires. And sometimes we get them, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes that prayer is answered. Sometimes things don't go our way. Whatever the outcome is, trust God and leave it to Him. Trust Him that He knows what's best for you. Many people nowadays say, come to God and He will give you all you want. Things, cars, money. That is so sad. Because that makes persons' worship to God dependent on superficial things. The people in the Bible that I mentioned above trusted God, regardless of getting or not what they greatly desired. Life as a Christian will not be easy, and sometimes you will not get what you want. But Christianity isn't about getting what you want. Christianity is about surrendering your life to Christ and allowing Him to do His will. A famous preacher once said, I would not trade the difficult years for all the prosperity in the world. God knows what each one of us must suffer in order to be conformed to the image of Christ. Come to Christ because He is worthy, not because you feel worthy enough to desire what you want. He gave it all for you and for me, so let us live for Him, not demanding anything or expecting anything in return. Leave your problem, desire, struggle, petition to God. He will decide what to do with it. Whatever happens, accept it and trust Him.